And you're going to come to a page that is a dashboard. All right, so this is where your sandbox course is. This is when you log into Canvas.
This is still Canvas?
This is still Canvas. This is Rutgers. So make sure you're on your Rutgers tab. All right, not in my environment, but in your environment. Do you have it there? Yep.
Okay.
Did you log into Canvas?
No.
Okay. All right. Log into Canvas and
Log into Canvas from my Rutgers stuff?
yes. Can someone help?
Yes.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
And Richard.
Yeah.
All right. So once you're logged into your Rutgers environment, as soon as you logged in, it took you to this page called Dashboard. This is like home base. So this is the new user interface. So if you see anyone on Twitter talking about the Canvas new user interface, it's actually not that new. It's about a year old. But some colleges and universities are just moving to it now. So I'm seeing a lot of Twitter talk from students talking about the new user interface. And I'm like, it's not new. But what it does is every course that you are attached with, or attached to, is going to show here as a tile on your dashboard. It looks the same for students. So when students log in and they land on their dashboard, every course that they are attached to will show on their dashboard. And I'm going to show you a couple of things you can do today to customize your space. So first we're going to talk about global options. We're going to talk about that dashboard navigation. I'm going to show you how to set up your personal settings and web services, contact methods and notifications from Canvas. We're going to talk a little bit about conversations, which is Canvas's inbox, and then how to find help. All right, so first up is dashboard navigation. And while we are on our dashboard, we're going to see this left-hand side. This is our global navigation bar. And I'm going to show you what each one of these buttons does. Now don't worry, you don't have this admin shield button, and you don't have this groups button yet. We're going to click on the very top button, which is account. You are a gray ghostly figure right now. We're going to try to fix that. Once I click on account, it's going to slide this bar open for me, and I'm going to be able to click and do things in there. We're going to click on settings first. So Canvas navigation works like this. All of the global features are going to always stay on the left-hand side. And then we have additional features that are going to show on the left-hand side for this page. Main content is in the middle always, and then any extra actions you can take on this page are going to be on the right-hand side. The first thing you're going to learn today about Canvas is anytime you see a pencil or a gear, that's going to unlock actions for you. So you're going to be able to do more things. You see if I hover over my picture there, or if you hover over your ghostly self, you will see a pencil. And if you click on it, this is how you're going to be able to update your profile picture. And Canvas gives you three options. You can either choose a picture from the computer that you're on. Now, if this isn't your computer, there's probably not a picture of yourself on it, right? That'd be a little bit weird if there was already like a picture of yourself loaded up here, okay? The second thing you can do is take a picture. So if you want to really take a gamble and click on that, what's going to happen is the camera is going to activate and you'll be able to snap a picture of yourself. I fear the camera on my computer all the time. I always feel like the lighting is bad and it looks like I have, 20 chins and my hair looks gray or worse. And the third option you have is from Gravatar. So Gravatar is a place where you can create an avatar if that's something that you use. I haven't met anyone yet who does. Does anyone know what it is? Okay, all right. Okay, so you have those three options. We do suggest that you do something with your profile picture, even if it's not a picture of yourself, if you create an avatar or if it's something that you love, because anytime you're interacting with students through Canvas, that picture is going to show up. So when you grade or when you send them a message, we don't want you to be ghost you. Okay, we want it to be a picture of you or something you love. So that's how That's the first action you can take on this page to customize Canvas. If I click on Edit Settings over here, which is on the right-hand side, and I had a pencil, so it was letting me know I had other actions. I am able to do some things, and I'm not sure if you can. Are you able to change your display name? Is that a box? Okay. All right. A lot of times that's turned off for K-12 institutions, but you guys are able to change your display name. That doesn't change the name that's in the record system anywhere, but this will be the name that shows up for you when you interact in Canvas.
Where does it say edit? The settings button?
I clicked over here on the right-hand side, the pencil, and it says Edit Settings.
I don't have that. Under web services?
Nope, it's over here on the right-hand side.
Yeah.
You don't have.
There we go.
There it is. Okay. All right. So you can change this to, I don't know how you were put into the system. Maybe it has your first name and last name. Maybe you wanted to say, doctor or professor instead. So that is the name that the students will see when they interact with you. So you're able to customize your display name there. Other things you can do here. You can change the language. Don't do this unless you actually know the language. I speak from experience. I was doing a training one time and I knew that I had an upper level French teacher. I wanted to show her how, she could tell her students to change the Canvas environment to French, and then they could experience it that way. But I don't know French, and so when that happened, I wasn't sure how to change it back. So only do it if you do know the language. This is also something that your students will be able to do. Any of these settings they can control. So if you do have students who are not native speakers, they can select the language they would like Canvas to appear in. It's not going to change the language of any of your lessons, right? But it will change any of the Canvas navigation and all of those buttons. Time zone could be important for you too, okay? Especially if you have online students who aren't in the same time zone. My training environment actually is on Mountain Time because that's where Instructure is. So my time zone is set to Eastern, so that things that I do are going to appear in Eastern time zone. If any of you saw the date stamp on your post this morning, it was in Mountain Time because that's where my environment is. So that is something that your students can customize if they're traveling. If they're not in the Eastern time zone, they're able to update what their time zone is. All right. If you see that delete my account button, hopefully you don't ever click that. All right. Once I've done that, the next part I'm going to show you is web services. So my web services might look different from yours. Do you have these options here? Okay. Do you also maybe see Delicious and Digo? Okay. So all of those services that are there, they can integrate with Canvas. The only thing, all right, I won't say that. You can integrate any of these services that you want. I've only integrated one, which is Google Drive, because we have Google Drive users. Okay. So Google Drive, enabling that for me is going to allow me to set up some collaborations with my students fairly easily. It's also going to make it easier for me to integrate some of my Google Docs into Canvas, which I love. The other services, I don't know about Delicious and Digo because I don't use either one of those. Do we have any Delicious or Digo users? Okay. All right. Unfortunately, I don't know what cool things they might do. Okay. For Skype, LinkedIn, and Twitter, if you integrate those, all that's going to enable is that you can receive notifications from Canvas to those places. So it's not like, you can use Skype for web conferences through Canvas yet. It doesn't do anything cool yet. Okay? So, yet, I said yet. That's all I can say. All right, so right now, Skype, LinkedIn, and Twitter, that's just a way for Canvas to contact you. If you live on Twitter and you want to get your Canvas notifications through Twitter DM, you certainly can. So you're able to enable any of those web services, and all you need to do is just click on it, and it's going to ask you what you want to enable. And I'm actually going to give you some time in a few minutes where you can play around with enabling those services. we're going to look up here on the right-hand side under ways to contact next. So you probably just have one email address in there right now, your Rutgers email address, that was set up for you when your Canvas account was created. Canvas allows you, though, to add in as many other contact methods as you want in here. No one else sees these, so your students don't have access to you at any of these places. What this allows is those notifications that are going to come out of the Canvas system, you're allowed to say, here's where I want to get them. And then for each one of the notification types you put in there, you can say, and this is what I want to get there. So I'm going to show you that next. So I have 2 email addresses. And you can just add an email address by clicking on that Add Email Address button. Or under here, under Other Contacts, if you know that you work better by getting texts, you can enable that Canvas contacts you by text. Again, your students will never see that. That's just how Canvas will contact you. Today, I'm going to be showing you a ton of ways to customize how you want Canvas to interact with you. I don't want you to be overwhelmed, but I do want you to know that we're all about options and finding the way that you work best with the system.
So just a quick question. So we're building and customizing all of this. How will we then work through this, I guess, Canvas interface or through the Rutgers one? Or will this...
Are you in the Rutgers one?
No, I'm in...
You're in mine.
Yeah, yours.
Do it in the Rutgers one.
I get all this in.
That's okay. You were practicing.
Yeah,
do it in the Rutgers one.
How do you specify your jersey?
Your Rutgers has a little favicon at the top. It has an R in the tab. You see?
Yeah, I have the second email. I
Okay.
want to specify that's the one I want everything.
I'm going to show you that next.
Okay.
All right.
Whoops.
That's okay. You're ready to go. You're like, I'm ready, Aaron. You turn on the button. So excited. All right, I'm done here. Okay. Now, great question, great lead-in. Now we're going to say what I want to get there. So what you're going to do is click on notifications in the left-hand nav for the account page. It is the 3rd button down, notifications. Here are all the things that could happen in Canvas that you could be notified about. And I have 2 ways that Canvas can contact me. That's because I added that second email address. If I had added a cell phone, that would also show up in the 3rd column. If I have the Canvas app, that would show up in a 4th column, and then I would be able to say I want to get push notifications for that. So there's a bunch of different sections. The first one is course activities. The course activities up to grading only apply if you're a student enrolled in a course. Okay, so as an instructor of a course, you'll never get a notification when you set a new due date. Okay, your students will have the ability to set up their notification preferences though. And they'll be able to say, I want to know when my instructor sends me an announcement. Each one of these, you have 4 options for each one. The check mark means tell me right away, so you would instantly be notified that that is happening in Canvas. The second one that looks like a clock is daily. It's a daily summary. It comes maybe 7, 8 o'clock at night, and it's a digest of everything related to that topic. The third one is a calendar. That's a weekly digest. It comes on Saturday morning between 7 and 9 a.m. We can't customize when it comes. It's just when Canvas kind of pushes it out. If you don't read email on the weekend, you can ignore that one. And if you don't want to get anything related to that topic, you can click the X and that would turn off all the notifications for that action that's happening in Canvas. So you can see you can get, so up to grading, those are really for students. If you hover over any of them, it gives you a little summary of, all right, well, what does this mean? So if I scroll down, the first things are course activities. There's a section about discussions. So if you want to be notified that there is a new discussion or one of your students' posts, I have that turned off. It's a good thing I do. If I had it turned on, I would have gotten 30-some notifications a couple minutes ago that all of you were posting. This next section, conversations, is about when a student messages you in Canvas. So you can be there's 3 different things you can be notified there. Scheduling is, there is the idea in Canvas that you can set up groups and students can pick times. So the scheduling is there for those actions. There's a group section. There's any administrative notifications, so you can be notified if like your Canvas admin has something that's happening and needs to let you know. And the last one is conferences. So Canvas is integrated with big blue button that allows for virtual conferences. And there, if you record them, you can be notified when the recording is ready. Yeah.
Did you say that the instructor will not get the notifications that are being sent out, a copy that the notification was sent out?
Right, so you, for course activities up to grading, you don't get notified of those. The students do. They only apply to students. So the students can say, you know, I want to be notified right away if you create an announcement. So those are actions you're taking, and Canvas is just going to be letting your students know. Like, they can be notified when you grade something. They'll get a notification that says that you graded it.
A lot of good communications are stored.
Yes.
Oh, okay, they are.
Yes. Yeah. So, I mean, these are actions that are happening in Canvas. So you would be taking those actions, and the students would just be notified that this happened, log into Canvas to take a look at it. Now, why do I have 2 different ways to be contacted? Well, maybe I don't use my Rutgers email address and I would rather get notified at my email. Or maybe I know that I work better off of getting text messages, and that's really where I want to be notified. So you're able to customize all of those. The reason why I really added to the second email address was really for just a couple of notifications. So I have them all turned off for my secondary email address, except for when it comes to late grading. And I'll tell you why I did that one. So in my work email address, I want to be notified right away if one of my students submits something late. Because I don't want to miss it, and I've probably already graded everything. And I also want to kind of get on top of them and say what was going on, you know, was there some kind of circumstance for why you submitted that late? But because I know my students, and I know there's probably not just one student a week who's submitting something late, I added my secondary email address so that I can also get a weekly summary. And in that weekly summary, it has all of my students who submitted something late. So I have a nice record of it all there. And then I can reach out to all of them and say, we're going to have a better week next week. We're not going to have everything turned in late. So because for each way that you have put in there, you can only specify if you want it to come daily, right away, weekly, or not at all. So if you wanted to have 2 types of notifications coming out, you have to add an additional way to be contacted. Now, here's the thing. Today, you're probably not going to know how you want these to be set up. And after you live with them for a while, you'll want to come in and customize them more. Maybe you don't need some of these at all, and you think that today they're super important, and in September, after you live with it, you're like, whoa, that's too much communication, I'm good. Then you could turn them off, because these are just really notifications for when something is happening in Canvas when you're not in it, right? Because when you're in it, you're going to know that that stuff's happening. You're going to see work that's coming in to be graded. You're going to get alerts that you have a student conversation.
Before you get too far along, it's possible to set up one type of receipt on an item in one email address and then another type for the same item. Okay, like weekly summaries, for example.
Mm-hmm.
And I get, announcements. I set it up for my primary email and then right away, and then have a weekly summary
Yes.
sent to the other.
Yeah. So that's exactly why I have 2 in there, because I wanted
Right.
in one way to get it right away, and another one to see it all in a
The
week.
catalog index. Basically.
Yes. Yeah. So that I have a record of all that. Okay. So those are notifications, and like I said, you probably will not know today what you want it to look like, and that is okay. But I am going to give you some time to try out those things that I just showed you.